Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stranger to My City. Today I'm with Brandon Quinn.
Hey, how you doing?
And we are on the Wisdom Tree hike.
We are on the Wisdom Tree hike.
Los Angeles. I've lived here for 2 years and I still feel like I know nothing about the city. My name is Michael Klapp and I am a stranger to my city.
Okay, so let's get some logistics out of the way. It's a 3-mile hike. It's a 1.5 miles up and a 1.5 miles down. It's pretty steep, so just be aware of that.
Parking. There's 2 options. So we're at the corner of Wonder View and Lake Hollywood Drive. Right now we're parked at the top of the fairly steep hill. Do we call it a heel or a hill?
Depends on where you're from.
Depends on where you're from. I'm gonna call it a hill for right now. And that pretty much gives you direct access to the trail that we're about to hike. However, I like to park at the very base of Lake Hollywood Drive to add to my workout. It's quite a hike, and by the time you get to the trail, you're already gassed. Just depends on how ambitious you're feeling, really.
Yeah, it depends on how much you hate yourself. If
Yep.
you want to park down below or up top, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, one other thing I thought would be fun is I've often asked myself, what would it be like to be one of Brandon's pecs, you know? So I thought, why not strap a camera on there and let's get a good perspective.
It's called the pec view.
Okay, let's go. Let's get going.
That's where we're going.
Oh my gosh, can you even
You can see the very top of the tree and the
Wow.
flag. All right, so this is your first sort of vantage point. It's at the very base of the trail, and it is a look westward to the San Fernando Valley. You have Universal Studios, you have the Toluca Lake Golf Course, and in Universal you can see the back lot, you can see the sometimes if you're here at the right time, some of the shows going off, the fireworks and whatnot. You have the Hollywood Hills and just an overall great view. The first portion of the trail is pretty treacherous and rocky. Don't quit, stay with it because it gets better, I promise. It's still steep, but it's not so what I like to call trippy with all the rocks.
I can also attest, I'm not a hiker, but you know, if you take little breaks on this first little part, you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
You're gonna be good. Just a little quick update. Probably about, what would you say, 20 yards into the hike. And it's beautiful. I mean, I've got all I've come for.
So right down here, and this is a great thing about this hike is there's so many different areas to hike. This is one of my favorite hikes also, but it's a leisure, I guess it's a leisure walk, I wouldn't even call it a hike. This is Lake Hollywood, and it is stunning. And there's a trail that goes around the entire perimeter of the lake. That's pretty beautiful and amazing, and I've walked that several times thinking that, how am I in the middle of a thriving, busy city? Because it just feels like you're sort of, you know, planted in the middle of nowhere.
Check this out. Over this ridgeline, I don't know
Yes.
if you can tell, there's a Griffith Observatory over there.
Nope.
If you can't see it, I'll draw a little arrow. It's right there. One thing I've noticed about this hike, could be just hikes in general, but people are pretty nice.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, everyone says hi to people.
Yeah, like right here. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, yeah.
Another thing you guys might be thinking is, does Brandon ever get intimidated hiking with me? But I just want to let you know, everything that's underneath Brandon's shirt is the same thing that's underneath mine. Pretty much exactly the same. Just carbon copies of each other.
It's true.
Brandon has a 6-pack. I have
A fanny pack.
a fanny pack. It's true. We have a lot of similarities. Like, I have lungs. He has superior lungs.
I have one.
I have a heart. He has a bigger one. So it's cool.
So you've done this before.
Oh yeah, all the time.
You're a master. Okay, good. How long does it take you start to finish?
Well, going up is like about 23 minutes, so I'm kind of slow. But
I'd say she's a beast.
Wow, 23 minutes?
Because I think we're at about a half an hour.
I think we're at about a half an hour.
All right. So here's a little important factoid. We've reached almost the top. To my left, you have a trail that goes into Griffith Park and the base of the Hollywood sign. And to my right, we have 3 girls snickering at me and the wisdom tree. We're gonna go to the snickering girls in the wisdom tree right now. But you know, choose your own adventure.
Brandon, did we make it? Is that the wisdom tree?
Did I say stick with me or did I say stick with me? Well, there's a couple stories about this tree. I don't know which one is true. The two most frequent stories that I hear is a long time ago, this guy got a bunch of trees and went all around the hills here and planted them. And at the base of this tree, there was an ammo box that he wrote a little message to his mother that he called the wisdom box, and just wrote about all the many different things his mother taught him and all that stuff. So that's what this box is. This is the wisdom box, and people come from all over and they leave little knickknacks and words of wisdom and thoughts and all that. I mean, it's just packed with stuff. There's, you know, empty wedding ring boxes, so maybe somebody got engaged up here.
Brandon, thank you for bringing me here, man.
Yes, thanks for
Thank you for bringing me here. So I asked you to take me to your favorite place in Los Angeles, and you decided to take me here. So why?
There's just something magical about this place. I mean, for me personally, you know, I moved here 21 years ago, and one of the first places I lived was literally an apartment right across the street from Warner Brothers, which is right down here. And
so you've been looking up at this
for
tree
a really long time, and from down below, this is the only tree on this mountain. Yeah. And it is very clear from down below, and you just see this mountain of shrubs, and then you just see this lonely tree. And I don't know, man, it's sort of like a symbolic of just perseverance, which is such an important aspect to have as an actor or anyone pursuing, I guess, any sort of dream, right? It doesn't have to be specific to the entertainment industry, and this tree is just, it's sat here for all this time. There was a huge fire in 2007 that just annihilated this mountain. Wow. And it's still here, you know. It did get charred a bit from things that I read, but the tree persevered, and it's magical. I don't know, it's weird, it's nostalgic to me to think that this is the tree that I used to stare up at, you know, 21 years ago when I first moved here with all these dreams and hopes and aspirations, and here we are sitting under it, you know.
So in a lot of ways, you know, this tree has made it through a lot in the last 20 years. And so have you.
So have I. And yet here we both are, you know.
I love that, man.
I like it. It's a good place to come and reflect and I don't know, take it all in.
Also, another thing that I've noticed on our way down is what have I noticed? That's a good question. There's a lot of people. Yes. I think the later in the day it gets, the more people you're going to encounter. So once again, if you're trying to avoid the crowds early, I think definitely early is your best bet.
The earlier the better. People sleep in Los Angeles. It's just what we do.
See what I'm saying?
One major thing I've learned about Michael on this trek is he's not so graceful. Not so graceful. Are you there, big guy?
Shut up.
He's like a gazelle. No, he's not at all. He's like whatever the opposite of a gazelle would be. That's what he is. What is what's the opposite of a gazelle?
Maybe like a newborn.
Like a bull. There you go. That's what he is. He's a bull in a china shop.
I look like a newborn giraffe. Yeah.
See? I'm not the only one that notices these things. Complete stranger.
I love when strangers make fun of me. It's
awesome. It really makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Did we make it to the trailhead? Woo, 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 woo. We made it.
We did it.
We made it to the trailhead.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Good job, guys.
Do you guys feel? Do you feel good?
I
feel good. Okay, great.
Amazing.
We all feel good. Thanks again for watching another episode of Stranger to My City. If you want to follow Brandon, follow him at the Brandon Quinn. on Instagram and on
And
Twitter,
Twitter.
right? Okay, cool. And if you want to see more behind the scenes stuff of Strangers to My City, follow me on Instagram, @MichaelKlapp, and on Twitter as well. Tune in next week because Portia and I are going to the Getty Museum.
Yay.
Thanks again, Brandon.
Fun. That
Thanks.
was fun.
Thanks, man. He's gonna regret that hug because I'm sweating like a freaking
he's wet.
sweating like a mini
Not gonna lie.
piglet.